Howdy, doody. That's like okey doke. Handy Andy. Gringo, gringo. Hey, speaking of gringos, anybody see AOC's boyfriend? They don't get more gringo than that. A white boy. They call it Ginger. Like that doof off the 88 shooting show. They got those two clone guys that look alike. Like they've been dipping their shit in some cinnamon buns too much, you know, and then their hair's all red. Hey, I got cousins that are gingers, you know. Well, two are gingers and two weren't, so. Rand Paul, what a disappointment. You won't hear any bitching about all the usual stuff from me today, because I have some real stuff to bitch about. Not stuff that's bothering me with the illegal aliens, but Rand Paul, jump ship. See, that's not a surprise to me. I said that when they pulled this. I got my ribs hurt by my neighbor while I was mowing my lawn, and I got a embolism in my lung and life-threatening surgeries, and you know, and then they got to tie up Ruth Bader Ginsburg for a little while, and they said the same thing about her. She fell down, hurt her ribs, got a embolism in her lung, and had to have life-saving surgery and all this other stuff. And you know what I think it is? Same thing with this guy Scalise, who got shot in his hip or something, playing baseball with a bunch of Democrats. The only witnesses are a bunch of politicians. He's a hero now because he got shot and he's got a walker. You know, I got a walker right there. Picked it up out of the Salvation Army can that somebody hit with a car or something. It was all the shit was strewn all over behind the bar I was staggering home from one night about 12 years ago. Brought it home and made it into an extension of my bench, a benching, expansion. Doesn't mean nothing. I could pull that walker out, try to get sympathy every time I got a ticket for parking in the street. I could stagger my ass down to the city hall. But that's Scalise, I think. I think it's all fake bullshit. And once you sign on to go full term, long, like a lifer, you're going to be there for life. They've decided they selected you to be the lifer. Once you go along with that first faked injury or fake attack, they got you forever. That's like the first year false flag attack every president seems to have that they go along with. Once you sign that paper, you own it. And they can use that against you forever. That you lied to the American people. You faked that. That's the only way they can get in there. They got to agree to all the chips that they stick in your head and all this other stuff. You don't get in there. That's a fail-safe. That's a backdoor Santa Claus. You don't jump high enough, you get hurt, you're hurt. You can't show up for all our fundraisers. We'll get somebody else, man. Oh, I was elected. They'll flip a switch, man. You'll be Mark Kirk, drooling all over yourself, bragging about how you managed to walk up a step in front of the Congress building or something. I think that was it. After he got the Barry neck jab there in Chicago, and he was supposed to just die like Breitbart. He made the rush to the emergency room. They managed to save his ass. He had a barb in his collar on his shirt or something. CIA tried to kill him under Barry's orders because he stole Alexei Janulius's Senate seat away from him, who was Barry's bisexual best friend and a Chicago banking magnate, or whatever they call those crony guys. See, I don't care about none of that stuff. I just want to make sure I got food, the juice is working, if it's supposed to work. If I'm off grid, then I don't care about that even. I don't like my yard flooded by neighbors, whether it's a school, an illegal alien, or a straw purchaser. I don't like people putting dams up on their property line that all the shared flood water now stays in my yard instead of being shared down the line. And the village is like, yeah, water's a big problem in this town. It's to the point where, what are you going to do? If you don't do anything, you look like a chump. If you do something, they'll send the cops to your house and say you're a threat to yourself and to your neighbors. Even the dog says you're creepy. Nobody even looks at your webpage. Why do you bother? Just pull him out of there. We'll get 18 illegal aliens in there, kicking in $100 a piece a month. And they won't care about $6,000 property tax on a house that's not worth $60,000, that's sold for $27,000. But we'll just slap that guy with $6,000 a year until he ain't got no more money in the bank. He can't work because all the illegal aliens got all the high school jobs, and the only people getting new jobs are through word of mouth. They don't put the job up at Suburban Surgical working the CNC machine. They don't put that job on Monster.com. They tell Pedro to bring another cousin in. And if you ran out of cousins, then fly in some more. You know, and if they can't get through Terminal 5 at O'Hare, where most of the illegal aliens come through, it's not coming across the border down there. You know? We want that wall as a monument. That's a way to say, fuck you. And that wall says, fuck you. That's all that wall is. You ain't going to stop none of these illegal aliens because they're being brought here. They were brought here like we were brought here. For 1,000 years we've been coming here. We were all brought here for the gathering, like in the movie. The gathering. But what do? We get here, we start having families and stuff, and then we let people talk us out of having families. There's kids that can't eat in Korea because we got 6 kids in Peoria. Well, that's a shithole, Peoria. What I think good about Peoria is you used to have a Caterpillar tractor factory there. I don't know if it's still there or not. Had one in Joliet and Peoria. J.I. Case, John Deere, Ottumwa, Iowa. You know, all these big companies, you know, go out of business. Now we got Dresser Industries and tractors made in Japan. And you buy a car from Japan now, it's probably radioactive. How could it not be? The whole island's radioactive. What happened to Fukushima? Rand Paul, why do they got his ass? You know why they got his ass? Because he was on an NGO ship a few years back during the Obama regime. Doctors Without Borders. He was dumb enough to get on this ship that went from the Mediterranean down, I think, the Sudan or somewhere down there in George Clooney territory. He was on the same ship with Dana Perino, and her husband's a doctor without borders too. Only thing is, there was junk in the chunk. Yeah, those Libyan man-pad missiles were in the bottom of that NGO ship they were hitching a ride on. And old Rand, he let himself get photographed too many times with too many people, talking too much stuff about nothing. But he's on the manifest for that ship. You know, the only person that ever blocked me on Twitter was Dana Perino. Because the day she made a broadcast from that ship, I asked her to go down below decks and get a picture of the cases of missiles in the hole down there. That day I got blocked from her Twitter feed That's the only person that's ever blocked me. Ever. Ever. No matter all the N-word and everything else I put on there. Constantly. Pictures of guns, everything else. No one's ever blocked me. Oh yeah, and Sean Hannity, you know, same day. Well, that's what happens. Now where's Rand? He says there's no national emergency. Trump's full. Basically, he's saying Trump's full of shit. Go get him. And he could say it's about this, that, or the other thing all he wants to, but you can't break with the president now and line up with the Democrats, even if you're standing next to a rhino Republican. Not now. Not when there's wars and rumors of wars. We have like 7 wars going on. We're stirring up shit in Venezuela and getting our asses kicked down there. They literally have to do stuff using the same dirty illegal aliens with a bandana around their face. They got the one guy running down the road going one way, and then a minute later they show the same guy running down the road the other way. And he's got a different bandana on and a different shirt, but he's got the same shoes, same flip-flops, same crooked, dirty, tiny, little hoof feet. And one of them's pigeon-toed, like a clubfoot. And he's hobbling down the road. You see another one where the little guy talking shit to the cops to detain him. And he's standing there chewing out the cops, telling them, you do this and you do that, and you do this and you do that. And they turn around and they walked away. Like, they're just actors, man. He was telling them what to do. And the camera's rolling on the guy because they figure people here are so stupid they don't know what the guy's saying. I don't know what the guy was saying. I couldn't hear it. But the guy was rattling on like a bottle full of farts, man. Just and sticking his dirty fucking face. And this was a little tiny runt, under 5 foot tall runt, talking shit to these 2 uniformed Colombian, supposedly border agents, whatever you want to call them. They had guns in their hands. Let me tell you, you snatch some motherfucker off the street that's jumping the border, and you grab his ass up. You don't let him stand there a second later wagging his finger in your face and then turn around and walk away, and you walk off like you just got chewed out by your boss. It's all bullshit. And the bandanas are on their faces because they got to use these guys, and every skirt. There's probably 2,000 of these assholes in these DHS white buses, and they're just bussing them around like they did here. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you got this far with the video, which I doubt, because I think they said the average video goes 25 seconds. Well, that's okay. You could watch Donald Ducat. What's that guy's name? I don't know. I'm not subscribed, but it shows up in these YouTube recommended things. This guy gets on there, and he's just reading the news. And according to if you believe it, I mean, he gets 25,000 views in like in the first hour. He puts a video up on a Sunday afternoon at 2 in the afternoon. He gets 25,000 views in an hour. Now, Sunday afternoon, and there's 25,000 people got nothing better to do than see what this guy wants to read on the news. Oh, here he is, Douglas M. Ducote Sr. But when he gets on there, he's got to give his intro. You know, he's chairman of the board of this, that, and the other law enforcement organization.
I'd like to take a few moments before I get into today's video.
And make sure
to thank each and every one of you that
subscribe and
today
hit the bell.
The 100,000
I've got
subscribers.
180,000 people that turn into me every morning as I read you the news.
People.
I'm chairman of the board of the Patriots for Law Enforcement Organization, and
as well as
every day I make a video like this where I drone on and read you two-day-old news, and I get 25,000 people an hour.
What I want to talk about
Now, there's got to be a way this dude
basically the moral
is paying
fiber of our country.
a share of whatever the AdSense gets, YouTube. He's giving him a bigger percentage by giving him some sort of a mechanism to change his views. I'm sorry. I'm a ranting, pissed off, angry white man. I am's what I am's. But I try to come up with some new shit to rant about, even though it's just the same old guy ranting. But to get on here and read you the titles, the captions off of the Drudge Report without even the benefit of showing you what I'm looking at, just to get on there and start reading it. I mean, if I had 10,000 people looking at my video a week, and that's all I did, I would wonder what kind of people you were. That you would, and you know, there's always somebody in the comments section, you know, they throw that word sir out there so much. You know who uses the word sir like that a lot too? Is these master and slave things, you know? Yes, sir, and sir this and sir that, and that's what that kind of reminds me of, you know. And that's some sort of a sexual thing, you know, a dominator and a slave, you know. I'm not saying that he has this kind of relationship with his subscribers, but they're called subs, and they all call him sir. Now, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's good. You're living a good, wholesome, clean life. Hey, I've looked at some pretty good videos, man. I mean, some people that make good music, man. They don't get anywhere near that kind of action, man. And they're creating. They're not even giving you their opinion like I am. They're not just reading the news. They're literally demonstrating different guitars, things like this. But I mean, they are talented. Some of them are actually making music. I mean, they're making music, you know, big stars and stuff, and they still don't get that kind of action. So I mean, you know, I don't think we're that starved that we're gonna just nibble. I mean, I look at this guy, this AK Operators Union, Rob Ski. I look at his videos, but you know, even when I see a new one came out, it might be the next day before I go and look at it, because it's just too depressing to hear about the gun control, you know. Or, you know, I'm not jealous, but sure, I wish I had a pasture. Even if I had to drive there an hour, I wish I had a pasture. I could go out there and have a camper park there and get a 600-yard shot off, make videos. Or I wish my grandfather, you know, left me a farm somewhere that I could go out there with my honey and you know, blow up washing machines with tannerite and stuff like that. I don't, man. I've had a heavy load all my life. I've always had kids I've been taking care of, and until I didn't have a kid to take care of, I still had 2 dogs on hand. So, you know, I'm just within a couple of years of getting cut loose finally, if I can stay alive long enough. But you know what? I haven't had the opportunity to really get out there and be creative. All I can do is sit here and bitch about some inconsistencies that I see, like this dub getting that kind of action. Now, you know, if that's the case, more power to them. But I gotta say, who are these people? I mean, I've been watching this one woman barking this April to June just because I think she's funny, but I mean, she's on here broadcasting on 4 different platforms at the same time, can't get a freaking signal out that doesn't break up every 3 seconds, you can't even listen to her. But then you look at her view count, and it's like off the charts. I mean, anybody else gets thrown off of YouTube for some of the stuff she talks about. And she gets thrown off Twitter. But then you see there's like some crazy amount of views. Now, I get a little starved for entertainment sometimes and look at some shit like that because it's just nothing else to fucking do. It's the middle of goddamn winter time. I'm stuck. I can't even get my back gate open. It's under 6 inches of solid ice. The whole yard is just a walking hazard. I am totally immobilized, like Jeremiah Johnson stuck in a cabin all fucking winter, looking forward to the rendezvous, the annual meetup of all the mountain men to come down out of the fucking mountain and see what the fuck's going on. Those guys don't even know what day of the week it is or month it is, other than how much thaw is going on. I mean, how the fuck can you tell that? It's 10 degrees outside right now. It's fucking March 5th. I should be seeing the fucking tulips starting to think about coming out. I doubt we'll see any flowers this year. Rand Paul's a fucking phony, and I'm not saying that he doesn't stand up for liberty, but just because you're a libertarian doesn't mean you gotta be like part liberal. I mean, Ron Paul, we throw a lot of support behind that guy. It seemed like he had a lot of play, but nobody ever thought he was going to get elected, I don't believe, and even if he did, I didn't think he'd live long enough to live out his term, but he's still making videos every day, his little news reports and stuff like this. But now you got the Tea Party guy, Rand. He's been in there all along. Where's he been? Hurt, out on waivers, sitting in the bullpen, waiting to get shot at the Democratic softball game next, when that last injury wears off and the sympathy runs out. Yet he's in there in the Intelligence Committee, is he, or whatever? I don't know what committee he's on. Who pays attention, man? Who cares? That's what representation means. They represent you because you don't fucking know what's going on over there. These guys get out of sight, and now we got taxation with no representation. In the old days, that was enough to dress up a bunch of your friends like Indians and have them go tear up a ship and throw the shit over the side. That's a false flag. How come there's no false flags happening? All those restaurant attacks against Sarah Sanders and her family and Christian Nielsen and who's that other hottie? Pam Bondi. They were all getting attacked left and right, bad-mouthed by a bunch of hooligans in the street. Why would that stop? I mean, Trump's being thumbed down so hard that they don't need to attack these guys anymore. Is that it? Why would they stop? Antifa, beating up people, hitting them with a padlock on a chain, hitting them with a kryptonite lock over the top of their head. Woe is me. What are we going to do? Now they're going to look for the Malaysian jet at the bottom of the Indonesian Sea that was filled up with scientists on their way to disclose some super secret shit. And then they all get shot down on the same fucking plane. I can't believe that Trump was talking about going to Davos with his entire cabinet. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't see anybody's tweet that sends him a tweet, but I said, I wouldn't put your whole administration on one plane and then fly over. You ain't going to get there. That's their favorite trick. They'll blow up the whole fucking plane. The Russians do that shit all the time. They took out the whole, I don't know, some Iranian scientists and everything else when they were putting the sticky bombs on the side of their car off the side of a motorcycle, blowing them up in the street. Israel's doing all that stuff. But now you can't say nothing against Israel because, you're a banker. He's a nice guy. He don't give you no interest on all your money. Now he's going to charge you to keep it there. You used to get 6%, 7%, 5%. some kind of interest. Now they want to charge you to bother them because you're going to come in there to get some money. You ever try to get money out of the bank? They'll try to talk you out of getting the money. You don't need money. Use your debit card. All right, places I go, they don't have that card. And then they want a fee. If you get charged a fee, you come and see us when you come back from wherever you went on vacation, and we'll reimburse that fee. They'll do anything to keep you from getting money. I remember I took out $7,000 to go buy my truck when I first retired, man. All the way home and all the way to Skokie, where I bought the truck off some cabinet maker's shop. I literally looking in my rearview mirror thinking that the bank had turned me in as being and getting ready to go do a drug deal. Man, I thought I was going to get pulled over and robbed by the cops on the road. Things were that bad, 2009. And they didn't want to give me that money. Only because the one girl had been there a while, and I talked to her every time I went in there. I mean, she was kind of being nice to me, but, you know, there were other ones coming over and really bothering me, trying to get that withdrawal. You know, and I tell them flat out, you know, you screwed with me over the FEMA flood insurance, and I dropped $75,000 on your desk, paid off my mortgage to cheat you out of $550 a month in interest I was paying you, and you didn't get it then. All you had to do is stop fucking with me about the flood insurance that you weren't going to pay off on anyway because it's man-made. That's not a flood. Your neighbor's flooding you. It's not a flood. In case you don't know that, your flood insurance won't cover that. No, it won't. And neither will your homeowners. The only thing that's going to stop that from happening is if you go out there and kick the shit out of him. Or start fucking with his car in the parking lot at his workplace until he realizes he needs to undo the dam in his backyard with a bobcat and a backhoe. And if you need to change the grade, put a fucking conduit under the ground, a culvert, drain, fucking corrugated pipe, man. I'm Daniel Ducati, and I'm here to read you the news. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't read you no news. Didn't tell you nothing new. If you don't see it coming, they just paint the decks and run the ship into you and play the same old song and tell you it's your fault because you were up on deck and you should have been paying attention. In the wheelhouse. You did it. You're like Captain Hazelton of the Exxon Valdez. You were downstairs relaxing when your ship ran aground. I wonder whatever happened to that guy, huh? Think he's still alive? Man, they made movies making fun of that dude. In Waterworld, man, they had that old super tanker out there with Dennis Hopper, praising Captain Hazelton. Was dedicated. The whole ship was dedicated to him. They were the smokers. Remember, there was the smokers, and those guys were all smokers too. I think there's a little double entendre there, huh? And Waterworld and The Postman were both movies that kind of dealt with people that couldn't reproduce due to the fact they got some virus. Of course, the guy in Waterworld had the gills on the back of his ears, but there was something that they seized his little boat his catamaran when he went into the little encampment of the survivors there in Waterworld. But it was both Kevin Costner movies, but both dealt with the same shit. That he was the only stud walking around with the good sperm, or something to that effect. It was something like that. He was special for some fucking reason. But anyway, that's what I think's going to happen in this country in another 40 years, man. There's only going to be babies produced only with authorized sperm that's going to be delivered by the doctor. And sex is going to be done to pay off a bill. You know, when the politician comes to your house like the banker in the 1800s, you know, grandma's behind. So grandma has to bend over and get poked in her behind. That's what set off old Jesse James originally, you know. That's what put him on his bank robbing, train car bank, mail car robbing path, which led to the creation of the Pinkertons, which was a detective agency created to guard those bankers' money in the rail cars and then go after Jesse James and his friends. And the Pinkertons turn into the Secret Service. And they're still guarding the bankers' boys. Rand Paul is a banker's boy. You just think he's an ophthalmologist. Have you seen him do any surgery? When he does his surgery, he goes out of the country, does it for free. Doesn't he care about us? Don't our children need help? Aren't our people oppressed enough already? Why does he need to donate his time like a write-off and take a ride on a non-governmental organization boat? The same boat that was caught bringing arms into the Palestinians. Same time frame, right after the Libyan and the Arab Spring and all this stuff. Why would he get on one of them ships and have to go give his time away for free to some foreigner? It's nice he could give eyeballs to some Guatemalan with the Zika disease. He's got a head about that big and he's got perfect vision. Why should I vote for that dude? I wouldn't vote for him. I can't vote for him, but I mean, think about it. He used to get up there just like Ted Cruz, talk a big game. Did anything come out of it? How about Barry Pepper, old Gowdy? Anything come out of that? You know, he tried to act like he's the guy up in the tower. Oh Lord, make my shot count. Give me the straight. Forgive me my trespasses. Until they blow him up. That's old Barry Pepper, old Trey Gowdy. Doesn't know which way to part his hair, you know. He doesn't know whether to have it go up or over, this way or that way, you know. He's kind of like Mike Pence, you know. Maybe he should do that, you know. And does anybody think Pence is really the vice president? That's the insurance policy, is Pence. Step off the red rubber line, we're gonna fucking kill you. And we just tell everybody you had a heart attack. And Pence will be the president. Because you know what? The VP and the P aren't supposed to be in the same place at the same time. Everywhere this guy goes, that little creeping death is standing next to him. The gray ghost is standing right next to Trump so much it's breaking protocol. And I mean, during 9/11 you had whoever Bush's vice president was, I forget. What was his name? Cheney or something? Wasn't he in the bunker in the mountain in Cheyenne Mountain or something while Bush baby was down there with the kids in Florida? And I bet that was in Pam Bondi's district too, you know. Don't get me going on the Parkland. It's already 34 minutes into this video, and I don't edit my videos in case you don't notice. Don't have a script. My name's not Daniel Ducote Jr., and I'm not the Chief Operating Officer of Patriots for Truth. That's not me. I'm Marvin Boone. I'm a wild-eyed pistol waver. I show up on race day. I don't run when the going gets tough. If I run, it's to the sound of the bullets and the gunfire. I don't run from the sound of the bullets and the gunfire. And I don't need to make YouTube videos to feel like I've accomplished something in my life. And if you think I'm joking, there he is. He's got that look on his face. My name is Daniel DeQuadra. Please subscribe.
The capitalization of
and ring that bell.
Is this entire Russia collusion.
Oh, I'm just telling you what I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to talk about it, and then I'm going to read the news to you. But I made this video about 2 years ago, and I'm doing it again for another 25,000 views, because you have nothing to do on a Tuesday morning.
Control of the House, as you...
Yes, well, if there's 25,000 people looking at that guy's video for 18 minutes, they're not looking at mine. And that's why Daniel DeQuadra Jr. has 25,000 views on a platform that is de-boosting everyone else. I look a little like Colonel Sanders, huh? The Kentucky Colonel. Oh, that's another YouTuber, huh? Guy that turns everybody in for money love, and they all get their YouTube pages taken away from them. But he keeps going on because he's a good guy. He's a colonel. Like nothing fancy. How about Dr. Dave Janda? He's a pediatric. He's a surgeon, and he retired to make YouTube videos. I mean, you got a sign in your hand that says "Follow me," and you're running in one direction, trying to get as many people to follow you as you can. Because then they're not going to be over there where they're needed. I mean, there's some things that just don't look right. It's out of place. It shouldn't be there. The thing that should not be. We've been around long enough to be able to recognize it and say, what the fuck? If I did that, then fucking haul my ass out of here. So you got to start to look. Things are out of place. You see it. You know it. Don't ignore it. You may not be able to stop it, but you'll see it coming. So when it comes to your door and you're a defender, you don't have to go looking for trouble. But when it comes knocking at your door, you ain't got to be like the three little pigs and let the big bad wolf huff and puff and blow down your house. There's three of you fucking pigs. Send one of you out the back fucking door to run around the house and shoot the fucking guy while he's huffing and puffing before he blows down your fucking house. That's what you do. You don't huddle in the corner and wait. And when they're at your door, you're a defender. You get the moral high ground. It's okay to fight back. Even if they got a badge, it's okay to fight back. This is Chicago. Just because you got a badge and you're driving a Panda car, whose law is it you're enforcing? It's called enforcement for a reason. They're forcing you to do something. Hall monitor. Chicago, they shoot kids in the legs with 22s, driving down the street in vans, so they can get more money out of the government. They don't give a shit. And those people that get shot, if they didn't get killed, they probably get all kinds of dough out of the deal. Now they got these GoFundMe accounts. How about the GoFundMe account for the guy for the border fence? And he got the millions of dollars. He got so much money piling up so fast that I think they confiscated the money. The GoFundMe people stole his money. I mean, we ran a guy for president, and he kicked the shit out of everybody else. There was enough people at every rally to equal the amount of illegal aliens that are coming across this border every month. 70,000 illegal aliens get caught coming across the border every month. That means there's probably 5 times that many getting across the border. And now you got Rand Paul telling everybody there's no emergency here. Nothing to see. Trump made it all up. The guy we elected that's been getting the shit stomped out of him since he got in there. While he gives everything away. He's giving Israel everything. He's giving the African American and Hispanic job numbers are at historic points. This guy don't even mention white people. He can't even say anything about white people. Most he could do for the white man is try to make it say you got First Amendment rights on YouTube. BFD. You know? Even with all the abortion stuff going on. I mean, Rob Ski, I talk about that guy, the AK Operators Union guy. That was his last video. Killing babies and taking our guns. He's on there shaking his head. Like, this should be enough. This is the cause. That should muster enough militia action in this country to totally overthrow the entire government. Just the baby killing thing. Besides the $250 trillion global debt, and they say we owe $42 trillion. Ronald Reagan was in office. He was talking about, you know what $1 trillion looks like if you lined it all up and bill to bill all the way up to the moon. That was $1 trillion. When Obama got in office, we were going to have to give China a state because we owed them some pittance. And now they're talking about $42 trillion like it's nothing. And you got Harry Reid talking about his spaceship that they built him with dark money. I mean, the guy admitted to stealing and diverting billions. Why isn't he in jail? Why aren't they trying to get that money back? Why aren't they explaining what it was for? And every day, SpaceX sends another rocket ship into space. Every day it's on there. It's on a live feed on YouTube. They got so many rocket ships going up. Where the fuck are they getting all these rocket ships? What do you think they just crank them out like it's an assembly line down at the Ford plant? Here's another one. We'll have 3 more tomorrow. They would have to be doing that. And SpaceX. By the time they're done, they're going to be able to just send a pulse down the line and fry everything in your house if you don't do what they say. And if you don't think they could do that, they did that about 2000, the year 2000, to the DirecTV guys. They had the bootleg cards. They sent down the kill signal to all the receivers and killed all those UH cards, I think they call them, or something, the chip card that went into the thing, and started a whole new era. And they had to give everybody all new cards and stuff. But they send a signal down and fried everybody's bootleg thing. So they could do that shit anytime they want. And now they got everybody hooked up on a bi-directional signal. You're not just taking a feed off the airwaves anymore. Now your computer's telling the sending signal what you're receiving under the heading of keep it from buffering, you know? They're tracking everything you say and do, I guess. I don't know. That's the story. I don't really give a shit, you know? Bottom line is there still has to be a guy come to my door, no matter what. So they can run a car into the side of my house, knock the whole fucking wall down, cave the roof in. There still needs to be some motherfucker come to the door first. A motherfucker's going to have to get out of the police car and throw a smoke grenade into the hole they just punched into my house. Somebody's got to get out of the fuck. Somebody's going to expose themselves, is what I'm saying. No one wants to be the guy with all his armor and all their shields, with all their buddies standing behind them pushing. Nobody wants to be the first guy through to get that fucking 308 in the neck. Believe me, they will never, ever come in your fucking house if they can take you on the fucking street somewhere. That's why when you see that shit in Waco with David Koresh, that's all bullshit. The guy was a jogger. He went downtown, the little town that he lived in, every fucking morning. They could have snatched his ass anytime on that road, man. That was a Clinton caper. Two of Clinton's bodyguards got killed. Those were the 4 guys that got killed up on the roof, shot from a helicopter. Those were his FBI agents that were his bodyguards in Arkansas. All 4 of them ended up on the roof at the same time, dead. Dead man tells no tales. And no, my name is not Daniel Ducote Jr., and I hope he doesn't get wind of this video, or maybe he'll come and get me. Maybe I'm like these guys that walk the walk of shame, you know? I see that other guy that was going after all the fake valor guys, you know? The fake Vietnam veteran guys. He got his website taken down. Nobody's going after Richard Blumenthal in Connecticut, the senator that said he was in combat in Vietnam, and even Trump fucks with that guy all the time. But that guy's still a senator. You know, you get a government job and you put down something in your employment application, it's not true. Even if they catch it years later, you're fired. That's right. False enlistment. Same thing. So, what makes sense and what doesn't? None of that makes sense. None of the Rand shit makes sense. None of the Scalise stuff. I don't care if he's got a cane or not. It doesn't mean anything. We've got actors all around us. AOC. She was picked out of a casting call. She was on a short list. They had hundreds of people showed up for that job, for that senator, that whatever seat the fuck she got elected to. You know, the ginger snap twat. It's not real. It's all an illusion. It's not even up to the level of the blue screen or Jihadi John or none of that shit. The fake beheadings, maybe. Everything that gets us into war, gets our kids hurt, gets our kids killed, makes us stay awake all fucking night worrying about what's going to happen next to our kids. While other people are allowed to have 8 fucking kids. Because 7 of them will be retarded. But those retarded organs work just as good as the straight ones. But keep on working. Keep paying taxes. We were supposed to be able to file our income tax on a postcard, Trump said. I haven't worked in 10 years. Every year I got to go through the hassle, sit there and report to these assholes on their fucking forms. When they know what they're paying me, because they're paying me. If they need to deduct something, they need to deduct it. It shouldn't be up to me to decide how much they deduct. And if I don't deduct enough, I got to pay. And if they deduct too much, I got to get it back. Why am I paying anything? I'm not working. That's money being paid to me as an annuity that I paid tax on when I got it paid the first time, when they deducted it out of my check. It was part of my gross. They didn't deduct it out of the taxable part. That's why now I have to sit down on this stupid tax form and figure out how much is the taxable portion. Until I get up to the grand total that they put on the thing that says, this is how much, and you deduct a little bit every year. Because they're hoping you're not going to live long enough to see the big total. It's all a scam. Play the game, huh? For what? Maybe on Saturday, you could stay at home and watch Daniel Dakota Jr. with the other 25,000 people that got nothing to do in the middle of a Sunday afternoon. I'm sure nobody saw this. And I'll leave this up. I'm just having my coffee. It's not, I'm here anyway. I'm getting a laugh. You can laugh with me. I'll leave it up a day and take it down, just like I've been doing all my other videos. You want to see it? See it. You don't? Don't. I ain't selling you nothing. I ain't reading you nothing. I'm just laughing at shit that don't make sense and pointing out the stuff that's obviously contrived and theater. Oh yes, I'm nice. Love me. Love me. I can make a heart. Isn't that the other meme? Oh, I'm R. Kelly. I can make a heart before I pee in your mouth.
May or may not know, have made it very clear what they plan to do.
Oh, they're going to get me.
And that is to spend millions and millions and millions of your taxpayer money to go after Donald Trump.
Can you believe this guy
Some
gets
of them,
25? This video got 12,800 views since last night. That's overnight. 18-minute long. I'll bet you one of those people that watched that video, other than me, didn't watch it to the last second. They don't bail after 25 seconds like my viewers do. I'm Daniel Dakota, and you're not. Bah.